On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway on Sunday Night Primetime. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
And it's third down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. On the draw, it's White. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stuff the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
He was brought down by Levante David. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. At the 36-yard line.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. First down.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here's Warren. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
He was brought down at the 45.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and
Ladies and
9.
gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now Rodgers. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They go right back to White here on first down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run. One that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
From the gun, Mayfield. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Now Mayfield running left on the option. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it, Warren. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
On the run, it's Warren. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. 0-0 our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. That's caught. It's Austin left side. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
That's good for us Steelers. First down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Logan Hall just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
From the 15 now after the sack. It's 3rd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Third and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. Now Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Throwing is Rodgers. He finds Austin complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. That'll give him 8 that time. And 3rd and 1 now.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Buccaneers, nothing. Chris Boswell to kick
Boswell
off
now to
Pittsburgh.
kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Here's a 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Working middle, and he's got Ibuka. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
17 yards. First down, Tampa Bay.
First down, here's White. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Cameron Hayward on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Steelers' 48-yard line.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Now Mayfield. He'll leave this one for White. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Points are huge.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Second down and 6 now from the 26. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
And it's 3rd down.
Mayfield to throw it this time. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shepard goes in motion. Mayfield to throw it. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So halftime now here on Sunday night prime time. Let's get it to Scott Hanson in Orlando with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hanson here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect...
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren, 72 yards. And the Steelers will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes our score 17-0.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. White, he'll try the left side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now a 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground with White. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield going to take it on the sneak. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Here's Austin. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. It really doesn't get much easier than the last drive. 1 play, and they took it all the way to the house on the touchdown run.
And you know how many times we talked about that's exactly how they drew it up? Because essentially every play that's drawn up in an offensive playbook, if everyone does their job perfectly, should go for a touchdown, right? That's one that actually did. Give a little credit to those big fellows up front, too. They sprang their man for not only a big gain, but 6 points.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
103 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a run with Warren.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 23.
They'll start here with a handoff to White.
And some space here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Mayfield off the play fake. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
And the Buccaneer first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Mayfield now.
He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First down, Buccaneers.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Second and 10
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Mayfield running the option right. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 9 here.
Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Sterling Shepard. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Buccaneers are on the board here in this Super Bowl. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
is up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Warren. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
He was taken down.
Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
He finds his man Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
They'll run on first down. Warren. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 141 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
7 yards.
It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This officially a 55-yard attempt.
Looked like an issue there on the snap, and everything has to be right from this distance. But that one, no good.
And the lead will hold at 10. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 49-yard line.
They go with White on the counter. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
A handoff for Warren. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Rodgers now to throw. Short throw to Smith. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Now Rodgers.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So that's not mission accomplished. It's darn close.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They run straight ahead here with White. Dancing away at the 35. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Tampa Bay.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
And his throw is incomplete.
Intended for Sterling.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. Open man is Ibuka.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
It's a gain of 4.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Mayfield. He'll try to do it himself.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts,
It's a gain of 10.
as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here's Baker.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
It's 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Now back to the ground game with White. And he is going to have the Bucs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Mayfield to throw.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Here's first down.
They run the draw play. This is White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield.
And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying good night from Santa Clara.